You're listening to the Get Global Network podcast of the Ask-Avani-Show. You can hear the show live at 3 p.m. GMT, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Central Time on Sometro Radio.
Born Entertainment, B.O. Records, Nocturnal 7. Here we go. No money from the boogie down the legend. This is how I go down. Oh.
I ain't the only one alive with bills. I ain't the only one who caught 6 years and 5 for pills. Been crazy all year. Tough guy.
Good afternoon and welcome. This is the Ask-Avani Show here on Sometro Radio. I would like to welcome one and all, everybody, wherever you may be, United Kingdom, USA, Europe. Welcome to the Ask-Avani Show. This is your regular afternoon slot with me, your UK Soul Queen Diva. And I would like to mention that the show is broadcasting today across other radio stations as well. Of course, here on Sometro Radio, Soul Divas Radio, Divas on 24, Yes Sir FM, OCT Nation Radio, and Sometro UK, to name a few, and many more radio stations are being added to the broadcasting schedule. We have a very special guest in the studios with us today. I'm here in the UK. I also have Program Director of the Ask-Avani Show, Kay Rose, in the Dallas studios. Hi, Kay Rose.
Good morning, good afternoon, Avani.
Good morning, good afternoon. And our very, very special guest this afternoon, Mr. Ken Elliott, artist, author, and writer of the book called Manifesting 1, 2, 3, and You Don't Need 3. Good afternoon, Mr. Elliott.
Hi, thanks for having me on the program.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. I am very, very honored to have you on the Ask-Avani Show this afternoon. I'm fascinated by your book. Thank you so much for sending it to me. I have to tell you that basically when I got your book, I read it. I was really intrigued by it. I mean, I have stories as well to tell you, and I was sharing with the listeners, of course, as well in my posts. But basically, your book, it was funny to read. It made me laugh. There were things that you had in there to tell people about it. I really enjoyed reading it. It was really interesting. And I was fascinated to read about testimonials and stories about people. Can you please tell us about your book?
Well, here's the funny thing about the book. Mm-hmm. When you get something that's so incredibly simple to do, it's hard to explain it. Mm-hmm. If I try to explain to you that you breathe to live, mm-hmm. you would look at me sort of sideways. If you haven't thought about breathing, what do you mean breathing? I'm just doing it, right? And so it's hard to explain that. It's hard to explain the color red. So what we're going to talk about today is something you haven't heard before. It's about manifesting. Like people like to use the term the law of attraction, but people don't know how it actually works. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how it is that I came to be the one that's experienced this firsthand, but in this program today, we're going to get beyond wishing and hoping, and we're going to talk about how your thoughts literally take form as you think them, and how you can use that as a tool. This is something you've already been doing. It's that breathing thing, but we're going to take this great gift, this manifesting, and how it actually works and put it to work. So my book is about manifesting. It's about something you've been doing all your life. And finally, because I haven't been able to find this in literature, someone has come along to tell you how it actually works. So no more wishing and hoping. Today, we're going to make things happen.
Fantastic. So basically, you're saying that if people are ready to change their lives, your book is going to be one of the number one tools that they can get to help them to be able to manifest their, whatever it may be, dreams, desires, whatever they would like to do, is going to help them to use the tools to be able to make that happen and make it a reality.
Mm-hmm. I think this book really is one of the number one tools. If you can imagine your thoughts can make anything, and you learn how to do it, then this would be some pretty basic information to do anything. Mm-hmm. And it's not my book. I don't have any ego about this. I was shown this. I was taught this. I was given this. So the information is not mine. It's not my power. It's not my juice. But I am the messenger boy on this thing, and we're going to take all the time that's necessary so that you can really get it on this singular program. This is going to be a marvelous ride here.
Fantastic. So you have all these things. Are these experiences that you have basically had yourself or that people have told you about over the years and you decided to put it in a book to help the listeners out there and people who want to change their life?
Well, I kept waiting for somebody else to write this book. Mm-hmm. For a very long time, I was involved in manifesting things as a game. I wasn't in a big metaphysical place, we'll call it. I wasn't a follower of the literature. But early on, I met a woman. Her name is Judy Goodman, mm-hmm. Goodman. She lives in Georgia. And we became very, very good friends. I had a reason to meet her. I had requested of someone a referral to the most accurate psychic in the United States. And an author gave me this name. And when I called Judy, we connected immediately, like the old friends that we are. Mm. And that goes back to another time and place. But what started happening was I learned from a stranger. A stranger called me and gave me this information and said, this woman is far beyond what you might think she really is, and gave me a lot of things that Judy can do. She's psychic. She goes out of body. She can see this and do that, and, on and on and on. But one of the things she told me that surprised me, she said, you can send her things in thought and she'll get them.
Now, did you think that was unusual, or were you open to the idea?
Well, I didn't know what she was talking about, really. I mean, I heard what she said, but I didn't know what she was talking about. It's like this book. I just said, I know how thoughts take form. Mm-hmm. Now, you heard what I said, and your head might tilt to the left or to the right, but you really don't know what I'm talking about. It doesn't make any sense. Mm. On one hand. On the other hand, a lot of people have been talking for, decades, for a couple of generations about how thoughts make things, but no one ever explained how it happens. It was all guesswork. So, so you say a thing, but you don't quite get it. So we're going to bring it home today.
Fantastic. Now, I'm just curious, before I start asking you other questions, please can you tell me, have you actually always wanted to be an author?
No.
Okay.
The book sort of wrote itself. Once I started sending these things in thought to Judy, and she got them every time. I'd send her simple things, complicated things. We'll tell some of those stories later. They're just fantastic. Your British accent has got me going. I almost said fantastic.
See, this is the proof that I am in the UK. This is the proof.
Yeah. So I was doing this over and over and over and over and over, and I started to tell people about it. And then I saw somebody said, "You need to see the movie The Secret," which I did, and I was really stunned because at that point, about 15 years, 12 years, something, I had been playing this game with Judy. I would think of an object and send it to her, and I'd call her later in the day or the next day, and she'd tell me what I sent.
Wow.
That was just a game. And I was such a lunderhead, I never realized I could do something with it. I was just spoofing around. What's the matter with me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, I also had a friend at the time, still a very close friend of mine, met him about the same time, William Buhlman, Buhlman, William Buhlman, and he's the foremost out-of-body author. So I started doing his websites, helping to get him and Judy on the radio, and I was sort of getting into this scene. And William, at that time, had about 10,000 letters from all around the world from people that are going out of body. So I knew a lot about that. And William made an offhanded remark one time about what his thoughts were doing on the other side. And I was flabbergasted by what he had told me. Mm-hmm. He told me how thoughts were forming up. He would think it, and they would start to form up. And I ran that back by Judy, who goes the other side every night. William goes on the other side quite a few times a week. And she agreed. And what I was given was a key to the universe, frankly. Wow. That's what you're going to get today.
Wow.
But I didn't get that it was a key to the universe. I'm just an average guy. I'm so average it kind of hurts sometimes. So, somebody said, here's the blueprint so you make a rocket to go to the moon or wherever you want to go. And I thought, well, that's nice looking. Isn't that a nice design? I think I'll just make wallpaper out of it. I mean, they gave me this thing and I did nothing with it. It was just thinking back, I was going, wow, why didn't I ever make the connection? But, I was dealing with William Buhlman, who's the biggest author in his field of out-of-body travel. That means you go to the other side. You don't have to get into a car wreck and have a near-death experience to have that happen.
Oh, my God. Judy, you don't want that.
Yeah. And then Judy, who sees the other side all the time. She doesn't have to go into some sort of state or a trance. She sees the other side continually, and she's on the other side every night. So 24/7, she's connected to the other side. Well, these are both very special people, and I'm not. And they write books, and they lecture. And, at the time, I did not. So they have special skills and privileges that apparently I don't have. I never thought to think that I could do what they do. But here we go again. I keep plugging away at this. We're all equally gifted at this. We're terribly gifted at this. We've been doing it all our lives. And you're already manifesting. We're just going to focus this in. We're going to show you how it works and how your thoughts make things, and then what you can do, which is really unlimited. That's another one that's hard to get your arms around, but off we go.
Ken, there's going to be people out there who are going to be like, what does he mean? Manifesting. So if I think about what I want and I concentrate on it and I start to try and visualize that this can happen to me or I can get whatever it may be, I can do this. I mean, you mentioned the movie The Secret, and I wanted to ask you about that because did it play a part in influencing you to write your book? Because you just mentioned that you'd been having your experiences of manifesting before The Secret was released.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, lots and lots of them. But I was just playing a game. I wasn't manifesting things for myself. I was just playing with and Judy hates this word, I was just playing send something to the psychic lady in Georgia.
Oh. Okay.
It was just a game. And looking back on this 20 plus years, Judy can see what's in the field around us. She can see potential futures. Our thoughts are making things. It's taking form, and Judy can see that. Now, there's also an edge, too. Somebody as gifted as she is, she can also see your soul's work.
Right.
Good parts of it, chunks of it, pieces of it. But she had clues about this book, and she was very patient with me and continued to let me play this little game like a 3-year-old until I finally, the light bulb went on. I went, wait a minute, I can do this for me.
Wow.
Instead of just, sending her stuff. So when I saw The Secret, it's a group of people who had been writing and studying and lecturing and, traveling around and talking about manifesting for years. And it was sort of a greatest hits presentation of all these different people coming at you slightly different angles about what we would call best practices, vision boards, language, wish lists, attitudes, all of these things. It's kind of like we all get together for coffee and we get all this wisdom in the room and all these stories, and we go, well, my thinking is if we go down this road, we get a pretty good result. And somebody says, yeah, here's a little twist on that. And somebody says, well, absolutely, this is not a good thing to do, and yada, 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 yada. So we're making assumptions and proposals, and again, the word best practices to try to get the ideal result, which is that if you think of the thing, you can bring it into your life.
Oh, wow.
But when I watched
that's a big deal. That's a big deal.
It is a very big deal. And it went around the world tens of millions of times. And I'm very, very grateful for the message they put out. And by the way, I'm all about people asking, praying, wishing, making vision boards, wish lists. These are all intentions. Wow. These are all intentions. And what you're going to learn is every time you have an intention and you repeat it, it begins to build the thing.
So there are different ways of manifesting. There's different things that all can become part of a manifestation for different people. So it's not just one rule, is what you're saying, and everyone must follow the one rule. There's different things.
Well, I'm going to say it another way, because that sounds complicated. My book is not complicated.